Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. Michael Noland here, and tonight I'm going to give my top 10 choices of Jimmy Page's very best solos while he was with Led Zeppelin. Now, as many of you already know, I've done quite a few reviews of the Led Zeppelin albums in the last 3 months. I always give a few days of just nothing but listening to these songs before I actually write my review or even begin to shoot. You see, as I've been re-listening to these albums, I've been making a secret list of my very favorite Jimmy Page Led Zeppelin solos of all time. Now, during all of my research, my re-listening to these songs so very intently, I have narrowed it down to 15 possibilities. But I'm going to shorten that list even further. Tonight, the top 10 Jimmy Page solos with Led Zeppelin. But first, a quick thank you to all of our subscribers, all of our viewers. The channel has almost reached its first 1,000 subscribers. You know, when I looked into starting a channel, all the experts told me that it takes at least a year, and that's if you know what you're doing, to get your first 1,000 subscribers. You know, this channel is 6 months and 8 days old as of tonight's filming. And it didn't really gain its focus until about 3 months after starting on October 28th. So you can only imagine my surprise on how much this channel has grown in a mere 3 months. So a big thank you. You know, this was our 4th goal for this channel, to reach 1,000, and we're almost there. If you haven't subscribed yet, just hit that subscribe to the tribe button, hit that top bell notification, and you'll be notified of all my future videos. All right, so without any further ado, let's get on to position number 10. From their magnificent double album, Physical Graffiti, In My Time of Dying. All right, you know, first of all, every time I listen to this song, I can't even begin to believe that Jimmy Page isn't considered one of the top slide guitarists in the world. He is fantastic on this song. All right, so the first thing you notice about Jimmy's guitar playing on this song is it sounds tonally different, doesn't it? And that's because he wisely chose, like he would on another couple of Led Zeppelin choice cuts, to play his guitar parts through his Dan Electro guitar. But you know, you can talk about his slide playing all you want. You can talk about all the tonal changes, and those alone would have gotten this song on the list. But it is the emotive quality of this playing. It evokes emotion, doesn't it? It's just such a wonderful track to begin with. And you know, this is Jimmy Page at the absolute top of his game. All right, so this next one was a tough decision for me. It was either going to be Celebration Day off of Led Zeppelin's wonderful 3rd album, or this one. And this is the one that finally made the cut. And of course, I'm talking about the magnificent Heartbreaker. You know, for the first couple of minutes in this song, you think it's just basically just another great Led Zeppelin tune, right? You'd be wrong, and I'll tell you why. At 2 minutes and 2 seconds, Jimmy does some of the most impossible guitar licks I've ever heard in my life, and not only just impossible sounding riffs, but the feel that he manages to get with this song is truly one of his very best Led Zeppelin solos ever. All right, next up, from their 3rd album, Led Zeppelin 3, you just knew this song had to be on my list. The wonderful Since I've Been Loving You. You know, just on the riffability of this song alone, just his playing of the solos on this song would have nailed this song on this top 10 list. But that's not the only reason it's in this position. And the reason it's in this position is because of all of Jimmy's playing in contrast to Robert Plant's vocals. He represents the subconscious thoughts of the narrator, as the man has come to realize that his woman hasn't been true to him. and that as soon as he opens his front door, there's a back door slam. We know what this song's about, and Jimmy's approach, his guitar work, representing the subconscious, almost frantic reasonings of the narrator, place this song as not only great guitar playing, but art incarnate as far as I'm concerned. Just for Jimmy's basic guitar playing, I'm not talking about the actual solo part here, just his guitar playing on this song in general, minus the solo, would get this song on this list. And of course, I'm talking about the song from their magnificent Presence album, Achilles' Last Stand. You know, I've discussed in my past videos what this song is all about. It's basically a song where the narrator is recognizing a season in his life, and he sees the need for change. He likens his old life to the cold, harsh reality of the North, and this new life taking flight with the birds on their way down south, right? But to represent the icy conditions that he has recognized within this song is Jimmy Page's icy guitar licks here. And not just guitar licks here. Some of these licks are impossibly fast, if you ask me. But then comes his wonderful solo, soaring, even slow at times, to again impossibly fast riffing, and culminating, if you notice, the solo starts off icy, just like the rhythm track guitars are icy, right? But as this solo culminates, it starts to sound warm. How is that accomplished? It's accomplished by a warmer delay, folks, and it's wonderful. It's Jimmy at his very best, and I don't know why this album in general doesn't rank higher on a lot of people's lists. All right, so next up, The Wizard Has a Wand. And from their very first album, I choose in my next spot the magnificent Dazed and Confused. You know, we've covered the lore behind Jimmy even approaching a violin bow to the guitar. He had gotten the idea from actor David McCallum's father. David McCallum, of course, most famous for playing Ilya Kuryakin on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And his father just asked Jimmy Page why no one had ever thought of this approach to guitar playing. The seed was planted and Jimmy started thinking, and the very best results of this thought process is this magnificent tune. This is no mere gimmick that Jimmy's giving us here. He almost paints this song to life with this approach to guitar playing. This song becomes grander in its scope, mainly because Jimmy approaches this song as a painter, brushing strokes across it in such a magnificent fashion. And you know, it's no joke. When I first heard this song, it truly left me for a moment dazed and confused. All right, next up, from the album Physical Graffiti, and not the only song from this album, of course, on this list tonight, the magnificent acoustic finger picking from Jimmy on the song Bron-Yr-Aur. Now, I know I'm not pronouncing that the old Celtic way, forgive me. One of our viewers already corrected me on that, and I did make an attempt to remember it, but 3 or 4 days later, it flew right out of my head. So I'll call it Bron-Yr-Aur for tonight. But you know, it's his playing on this. I do a bit of finger picking on the acoustic guitar, and I'm nowhere near the level that it takes to play this piece. But it's not just his wonderful playing. Once again, it's the tones that Jimmy chooses to present this wonderful and intricate bit of guitar playing. And another reason it's on the list tonight, I'm trying to cover different aspects of Jimmy's guitar playing here tonight. And his acoustic, Celtic, alternate tuning approach could not better be represented than this magnificent piece. All right, just fitting perfectly into this position is the magnificent guitar work and solo work by Jimmy on the amazing recording No Quarter. You know, this whole song began with a lot of John Paul Jones' basic structuring of the main theme of this song, right? It's not even until 1 minute and 2 seconds that we even begin to hear where Jimmy wants to take this song from time to time. But at that point, we see that this song will slip in and out of 2 major themes throughout its recording. They then repeat these 2 themes along with Robert's amazing vocals. At a little over 3 minutes, we see that John Paul Jones is left to explore this progression further. He starts peppering in through the keyboards almost jazzy notes. It's only on repeated listenings that you realize these are guide notes for Jimmy to follow. All of these basic flavorings will not only be heeded, but Jimmy will actually use those actual notes in a solo you never thought would come from his fingertips. And by that I mean, this is Jimmy, the jazz guitarist. This is a solo that most of the best jazz players on the planet would have been proud to record, man. Just for this major centralized solo, I would have chosen this song in the top 10. But it's his further work after this major solo. He starts developing themes between the left and the right side. It's wonderful. And this is Jimmy, the professional guy in the studio, heating and creating, but actually reading a map that John Paul Jones so expertly provides for him. All right, for this next position, we go right back to the beginning. Not only Led Zeppelin's first album, but their very first track on that album. And of course, I'm talking about Good Times, Bad Times. Now, in a past video, I chose this solo to represent what I considered Jimmy at his very best. I discussed that his very first solo approach in this song is almost an impossible climb to achieve. At the speed in which he achieves this guitar work, it's amazing. In the second part of the song, he does the exact opposite approach, going down the neck at an even faster and more blazing speed. The accompanying guitar work around this solo work makes this song one of my very favorite Led Zeppelin songs of all time. All right, next position, A Whole Lot of Love. You know what? This has got to be in everybody's top 10 list. The sounds that Jimmy creates on this song are wonderful. The riffing is wonderful. His whole approach, every single thing he does on this song was new and never heard before. And you know, this is a perfect example of why I call Jimmy Page the wizard. The magic spell he weaves here begins at 1 minute and 42 seconds. Here we hear guitars emulating almost human breath, and then the sounds of winds, and then, of all things, an almost zipper-like effect supplied expertly by Jimmy Page here. This sound collage alone would have gotten an honorable mention in tonight's video, but his riffing at 3:05 cements the deal as far as I'm concerned. This is Jimmy Page, the wizard, weaving a magic spell for all to hear. All right, next up, you knew it had to be on this list. You guys let me know if it's properly placed or not. The magnificent, the wonderful Stairway to Heaven. You know, this song would have gotten an honorable mention just based on his wonderful chordal playing in this marvelous progression. So laid back and yet somehow just as prominent as Robert's wonderful vocals here. Here is Studio Jimmy servicing the song at the proper moment. At 5 minutes and 55 seconds, Jimmy not only launches into a solo that is also known very well for its whole tonal approach. He plays some of the best lead guitar in this section that is on record anywhere. You know, for many people, this song is the magnus opus for Led Zeppelin, right? And he takes this magnificent song and tames it to his own will. And in the last few seconds of this song, with some of his fastest playing, he then slows down the entire band, with Bonzo following absolutely neck and neck with him. One of their very best endings to any song ever. You know, Stairway to Heaven has got to be on just about everybody's top 10 list. All right, so that covers the video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, consider giving us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. All you do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, then hit that top bell notification, of course, and you'll be notified of all of my future videos. If you've been seeing any names in front of me, these are brand new subscribers. I always give a shout out at the end of my videos to any new subscribers who have joined the tribe. And to all of our recent new subscribers, all I can say is welcome to the tribe. All right, guys, that covers it for tonight. I'm Michael Noland. This, of course, is The Bottom Line, and I'll see you in my next video.